Tonight, News Channel 13 begins a new series of reports called Cold Case 13, profiling unsolved crimes from around the capital region.
Now, the first from Fulton County, and it's a mystery that began 3 years ago when the remains of a young woman were found buried in a shallow grave. Jerry Gretzinger is here with more.
Benita, Jim, investigators have little doubt this woman was murdered, but before they can ID a suspect, they need to ID the victim, and they're hoping someone can help. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office got the call December 17, 2015. A man operating an excavator at a gravel pit in Ephratah had dug up a bag a day or two before and tossed it aside, thinking it was junk, until he looked closer and discovered it was full of human remains.
Typically when we hear a dead body, it's, relatively recent.
This body had been there so long, there were only bones. Criminal investigator Keith Manners was among the first on the scene and recalls some bones were missing, dug up with gravel and transported a short distance away, which meant they had a second crime scene.
But a lot of the pieces of the body were not there, so it was going to take a lot. Like the skull was actually removed from part of it.
They would never recover all the pieces, but did find some personal effects with the victim.
The arm did have a bunch of bracelets on it. The body did have a type of a wig on it.
The bracelets were dated back to sometime in the 70s or 80s. One of them, sold by Avon, bore the Libra sign, but there was nothing else to help identify the victim. Sergeant Brian Novak says even reviewing dental records came up empty.
The mandible was missing, so we had no lower jaw.
The remains were sent to a forensic artist in Dutchess County who did a clay model rendering. This is what they believe the victim might have looked like at the time of death while wearing the wig she was found with.
This was an African-American female, presumptively in her early 20s. That she was like 5'3".
The description has been provided to a national missing persons database.
To this date, we've had no matches.
We're not even positive this person has been reported missing.
Through DNA and dental records, investigators have determined whoever this woman was, she was not from Fulton County, but they cannot say the same for whoever dumped her body here.
So somebody had to know the area in order to come up and get to this particular location.
The gravel pit in Ephratah is off of Green Street. It's remote, and Novak and Manners do not believe the burial site was chosen randomly.
And we speculate that whoever did this knew the area or had some familiarity with the area.
They still can't pinpoint just when Jane Doe may have been killed. It could have been in the 90s or as recent as 5 or 6 years ago. But if you have any memory of seeing this woman, African-American, early 20s, perhaps with a wig of dreadlocks and an arm full of bracelets, or if you might know the person she was with who was familiar with Fulton County, contact police.
The biggest missing piece is, who is she?
You could help put a name with the face and maybe catch a killer. Now, if you think you might know something, contact the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. We've also launched a new page on our website for Cold Case 13. You can review the story, take a closer look at the evidence, check out maps of the areas involved. You'll also find the contact info for the sheriff and an email address for the Cold Case 13 team. And finally, share the story. Get on social media. It's a big part of this. Then they can share it with their friends once you've shared it with them. The more people who see it, the more likely we are to help them close the case. Jim and Benita.
Thanks, Jerry.
It'd be great if they could.
Oh, it would be fantastic.
Yeah.